If you've ever hesitated to address objections in your copy because you didn't want to sound pushy, defensive, or salesy, or maybe you didn't even know you needed to address them, then this episode is for you. I want you to know that objections are not roadblocks, but they're actually buying signals and opportunities to deepen trust with your target audience. So today we're going to talk about how to spot them, what to say, and how to weave them into your sales page in a way that feels honest, human, and strategic. Because if you're not addressing objections, you're quietly leaving conversions and revenue on the table. Welcome to Seven Figure Copy, the show where I teach you how to create powerful strategic messaging so you can attract high-paying clients and scale your business to the next level with ease. I'm Gina Whitehouse, your expert conversion copywriter, and this podcast is for ambitious, value-driven female entrepreneurs like you who are ready to scale from 6 to 7 figures without sacrificing what matters most: your values, your time, and your family. In each episode, we'll dive into the art of crafting persuasive words for high-converting websites and sales pages, and you'll learn strategic copy techniques so you attract premium clients and boost your revenue. This podcast was created to help you tackle the challenges of balancing family life and business growth as you take your business to the next level. If you're ready to add a trusted partner to your team, making sure your message is compelling, consistent, and impactful, then you're in the right place. Hey everyone, I am so glad you're here with me today. I'm Gina Whitehouse. I'm your go-to conversion copywriter and host of the Seven Figure Copy podcast. You know, this season is all about getting your clients or customers to say yes. And if there's one thing that helps move someone from a hesitant maybe to a confident yes, it's how well you handle their objections. So let's talk today about what objections really are and how to address them without sounding like you're defending your offer. Okay, I want to start with some good news. If someone has an objection, it means they're considering your offer. It means they're engaged, they're interested, and they are curious, okay? An objection doesn't mean that someone's out. It means that they're almost in. But if your copy ignores the questions in their mind, they will fill in the blanks with doubt and perhaps the negative experience they've had before. We don't want that to happen, right? Doubt doesn't convert. So it's your job to address these concerns before your reader even has time to voice them. So there are two major ways that people mishandle objections in their copy. The first is that they just avoid them entirely, just hoping that the reader won't think of them. And this is not the best thing to do, right? You're just really kind of working in fear here, right? Because you just don't want to deal with it, or you're just hoping that you don't have to address it. But addressing the objections are really a good thing. And I would say to not let that be a roadblock for you, okay? The second way that people mishandle objections in their copy is that they address them awkwardly or defensively, which breaks trust instead of building it, right? We don't want to come off as being defensive or awkward, obviously, right? So let's talk about a better way to do this. So I want you to start by thinking of objections just as unasked questions. All right, let me say it again. Start by thinking of objections as unasked questions. Now, these questions could be things like, is this really worth the investment? Or what if this doesn't work for me? Will I have the time to do this? How is this different from everything else I've tried? So you have to consider these, and then I want you to work them into your copy like it's a conversation, not a courtroom defense. This is where empathy really meets strategy, okay? Because objections are just evidence that your audience is thinking critically, and that's a good thing. So let's walk through how to do this in a way that sounds human and is high converting. Let's start with the objection that says, what if I don't have time to finish the program? This could be if you're offering a course, a group course, or maybe a one-to-one program with you, okay? Or it could just be like a course that they go through that's evergreen, that's always there, and it's like just a do-it-yourself, go-through course, okay? Now, you could simply ignore it and hope they don't ask, or you could say something like, and I've written this out, so I'm going to read from it, okay? You could say something like, got a busy schedule? You're not alone. That's why this program was built for flexibility with short, actionable modules you can complete in 15 minutes or less. Whether you've got a full day or just a lunch break, you can move forward on your own timeline. So do you see how that speaks directly to the concern before the buyer even voices it? Here's another example. Let's say you're selling a premium skincare product and the objection sounds like, I've tried clean skincare before and I didn't see results. Well, instead of ignoring it, you could say something like this. Again, I'm just reading off the paper what I've wrote here. You could say, we hear this all the time. I've tried natural products before and honestly, nothing's changed. Well, that's exactly why we do things differently. Our formulas are third-party tested, clinically backed, and are made to deliver visible results within the first 14 days or your money back. Clean shouldn't mean ineffective. It should mean powerful and safe. So do you see here, you're not defending. Instead, you are relating, reassuring, and reframing. Let me say that again. You're relating to the potential customer, you're reassuring them, and you're reframing that question or doubt they might have. And that reframe is really what shifts someone from doubt to decision. If you've ever thought, I know my offer helps people, but I'm not sure if my sales page is motivating people to buy, I want you to know right now that you are not alone. Let's get you from second guessing every word to selling your service, product, or program with confidence and clarity ASAP. Today, I'm inviting you to book a 30-minute complimentary copy chat with me to find out whether you need a strategic copy audit of your existing sales page or if you need a newly written, high-converting, done-for-you sales page. Let's make your offer sell easier, attract the right fit people, and make them think, how did she get in my head? Go to the show notes to book your call today or go to my website at whitehousesm.com. When you reframe an objection well, you're not just answering the question, but you're rewriting the narrative in your buyer's mind. So instead of this might not work, they might start thinking, oh, this time it might be different. And that's the shift, right? That shift is the difference between high converting copy and forgettable copy. Because at this level that you're at, this level of business, your buyers aren't looking for hype. They're looking for logic. They're looking for emotional safety. They want to feel that they are understood. They want to be equipped. And good things happen when your copy reflects that. You create the trust that makes someone finally say yes. I like to think of this like parenting. One of my kids tends to default to the negative in his thoughts sometimes, and he's a feeler and he's a very deep thinker. And he'll say things like, oh, I have to go to school today. Oh, I have to clean up my room. I have to do all this homework, whatever it is. And as his mom, I can see the spiral where that's starting, so I gently stop him and I say, no, buddy, you get to go to school today. You get to learn something new. You get to use that smart brain of yours. So what I'm getting at is that it's in your copy. It's not about pretending that everything is fun or easy. In this case, I'm working on shifting his perspective from obligation to opportunity, or like from frustration to empowerment. And that's exactly what you're doing when you reframe an objection in your copy. You're saying things like, I see your concern, it's valid, and here's a different way to look at it. So that is the kind of copy that builds trust. That's the shift that you need to start building trust in your ideal client or customer. What does it do? It really just helps your buyer feel heard, but it also helps them believe that maybe this time things could actually be different. And when your copy can do that, like you're not just writing words, you're really changing someone's buying story. And as we've talked about during this season, there's this thing that we call the trust recession. People are less trusting these days. They have been burned in certain ways from things they've bought. So you really do have to take the time to address any objections or doubts that someone may have in their copy or in your copy that's written on your sales page. Because even in the case if, let's say your sales page says, if you have any questions, just email me or DM me or voice message me, contact me, right? In those cases, not everybody's going to do that. Some people have a fear of doing that they might reach out to you and you just might try to sell them immediately, So you really want to answer these objections on the sales page first. So one, they don't even think of contacting you, like all the questions are answered. But even so, if they still have a question, you've kind of calmed their mind down and you've shown them that perhaps you really do care about their results or what that transformation is. And it will bring their guard down to, on your end, make it more of a possibility that they're actually going to reach out to you. You see what I'm saying? So Don't shy away from doing these things, from answering the objections. I know sometimes it feels like it's an extra step that you don't want to do, but it will pay off in the long run. Now, if you're at the point where you want more clarity about what's working in your copy and what's not, that's exactly what the Yes Vault is for, and it's here to help you uncover these things. Inside, it's going to give you access to quick, actionable videos, swipeable examples, and notes from this episode, including, I'm going to put in there a PDF of some common objections and how to address them with empathy and confidence. So I want you to see some before and after examples. So if you're wondering what to say when someone thinks your product is too expensive, for instance, or your program won't work for them, you'll have the language and strategy that you can use to answer some of these common objections. So go ahead and head to the show notes or go to whitehousesm.com/TheYesVault to get instant access. It's only $14 and it's packed with tools that will give you a return again and again. You know, I always love to end each episode with an action step this week. So today I want you to make a list of the top 3 objections that your potential ideal client or customer has before buying your offer. Then I want you to go and look at your sales page and ask, am I addressing these clearly and compassionately? And if the answer is no, now's the time to add them in, right? Because objections don't scare buyers away. What happens is when you don't address them and you ignore them, that is what's going to push them away. So let's do a quick recap here. I want you to remember that objections are buying signals and they're not roadblocks. When you avoid or awkwardly address objections, you're eroding the trust of your potential buyer. But when you meet them with empathy and strategy, you're actually moving someone closer to saying that yes, to giving you the yes that you want to hear. So next week, we're going to dive a little deeper into ethical sales with a guest I think you're going to love. Actually, I know you're going to love. I'm sitting down with business strategist Jan Ditchfield to talk about how to sell with integrity and why ethical sales copy actually converts better than, obviously, unethical sales copy. So it's really an honest, refreshing conversation, and it's packed with insight you won't want to miss. I'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of 7-Figure Copy. If you've enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave a 5-star review on your favorite platform and follow me on Instagram for more insights. Can you think of one female entrepreneur or small business owner right now who could benefit from listening to this podcast? Please share this episode with them. And if you're ready to hand off the copy for your website, emails, and sales pages, head over to www.whitehousesm.com to book a complimentary copy chat with me. Let's partner together to take your business to the next level.